Hello students, last lecture we have discussed various features of microeconomics. Today let us discuss the scope of macroeconomics. The scope of macroeconomics is limited. It is because it deals with the study of consumers behavior, producer behavior, seller behavior, etc. Students, we know that microeconomics deals with the individual income, not the national income. It deals with the price of particular commodity, not the general price. It deals with the individual demand, not the aggregate demand. It deals with the individual supply, not the market supply. So, the scope of microeconomics is limited. So, scope of microeconomics, it shows that what topics are included in the microeconomics and which topics are not included in the microeconomics. Let us see the subject matter of microeconomics. See that this scope can be classified into three: theory of product pricing, theory of factor pricing, theory of economic welfare. First one, theory of product pricing. Student, the prices of goods and services are determined on the basis of demand and supply. So, demand comes from consumers and supply comes from sellers. So, these two forces, demand and supply, that determine the prices of goods and services. So, we have two topics: demand analysis and supply analysis. Second one, theory of factor pricing. It means it includes the prices of factors of production are determined. The prices of factors are rent, wages, interest and profit. What are the factors? Land, labor, capital and organization. Rent is given to land, wages are given to laborers, interest is given to capital and profit is given to enterprise. So these prices of factors of productions are determined on the basis of demand and supply. So another topics in macroeconomics is theory of economic welfare. Students, ultimate aim of our economic activities is to achieve economic welfare. This topic deals with efficiency in the allocation of resources. The scarce resources should be used efficiently, then we attain maximum satisfaction of the people. So, economic efficiency involves efficiency in production. It means producers should be efficient in the production of goods and services. The resources are scarce, no doubt. So these resources can be used in a proper way and brings more production in the country. So limited resources can be used in an optimum way. Second is efficiency in consumption. It means consumer should be efficient in the consumption. So the goods produced in the economy should be used by all consumers and get the maximum satisfaction. So there should not be the shortage of goods and services. And third one, overall economic efficiency. It means the production of those goods which are most desired by the people. Students, this is enough for today. I want to see you in the next period.